And so we're going to enter those 50 ages into your computer. The way that we do that is you create an object called age, and then you're going to assign it. And we use the command C, which just is abbreviation for combine. So we're going to combine all of these values into a single object called age. And so that's what you're going to use to take the next 10 minutes to key in these 50 values into your computer. You don't need to do it twice. What's that? You won't need to do it twice, no.
Well, you mean like the number in there twice?
Yeah, you have to do each of them. You have to do each value, so you have to enter all 50 values into your computer.
No, I had a question.
What are you doing? I'm trying to use this charger. Why are you using my charger? It's not yours.
Alright, so do I need to clear this out? This is what if when I
I'll go to
what's in this window.
Alright, so I start right off with
The variable age.
oh, that's so I'm starting at this spot.
Unless you want to put the comments in there.
I just pray I don't fall off the stadium.
You have questions?
Because I be running so slow because I don't want to fall. Because I do not want to fall. Because the first time I felt my back falling back, and I felt like something like pushing back. That's why I was guarding the angel when I was falling. So when I was running, I hit the step, and then when it slipped back, and I was like, ever since then, I'm like, counting every step, but not falling.
I may not know what's right.
What's that C mean before you
Means combined. You don't have to have a space or anything here. You can just write these all 50 in a row, all in one line. It just gets hard to read. So after like a comma, if you hit enter, it'll just go to the next line.
I'm trying to study, bro.
Make it
I'm
easier.
trying to do my work. Little brother. I'm gonna be like Debo. Little brother. That's how Debo talks.
do not be like that's the worst thing I've ever
I did not say that.
Did you not? Go to your just say it down there.
Right. Are we on our studio?
Yes.
Bro, who are you talking to like that? You! Never. I'm trying to wait for it to load my computer.
So, right before the parentheses, is that a C? Just making sure I can see the word.
Letter C, yeah.
Okay.
For combined.
Alright, there you go. Just making sure.
It's loading up. So we just go on the first thing we go. I'm saying that like on the last one we just inputted our work and did it. Like on his, he has like his group and like the day he did it.
I just did
You don't have to do it. If you want to do it, you can.
Like on the top I saw University of Oklahoma and they're like that's okay, so we just go and also how do you do this now?
So this you can just silent for things. Or you can close that. R strips.
I did it. And then I go just page.
Yeah.
Like yesterday. So like that.
So does it matter in the order you press run? Like, should I, after I put it on pages, should I do run and then put it in?
Yeah, so what, if yours looks like his, you put that all in, you highlight everything.
Let me see. Is that a C?
The letter C, lowercase.
Is there a space between that? Or?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Hey, you run it, right?
Makes sense?
Yeah, thank you.
He didn't put a space between that.
That's objects called pages.
Then you went.
So down here you got your object. Down here you got your object page, and it's got 50 entries.
I got it.
50 entries has more or less.
Yeah.
You could have still had it wrong.
Got a quiz tomorrow. I got a mama.
Okay, so somewhere you can
Siri, remind me that I have a quiz
Guys,
tomorrow.
you're okay back here?
Yeah, I put this one on.
Is everything
Yeah.
going on?
It doesn't work now.
Oh, you know what you did? When you run it,
But I make sure that the comma, I make sure the comma.
Libo. It says Libo. And then do we need anything special that
You'll click run after you do all this, and then you'll write what he has up there on the screen after you do the first time.
Center.
One of these side keys was. They don't. LeBron.
Maybe if you press this.
Okay. BJ, shut up, bro. You love football.
You can, you know, we're gonna start in just a minute, but either way. You guys are okay? Oh, did you?
Also forget, he didn't get his own birthday. I love him. Hey, how do you get this deal like that?
All you have to do is press enter after a certain point, but it doesn't matter. It can stay like that.
Okay. So after you do all that, you can close it.
You can run.
Close it. They can run.
Put the C. Now, type in that.
What is it?
It's sure type in history or histogram.
I don't care what happens.
Right there, bro. This is me. Open parentheses. Alright, here you go. Main equals apostrophe. What is this? Histogram. Can I put my own name?
System.
Wait till I get my
All right, everybody have that. looks like mostly everybody has that. Let's,
Excellent.
the next thing we're gonna do is make a histogram, right? Where's the assignment sheet?
My excellent.
I'm not gonna mess with Jay's computer. So can you bring up the assignment sheet, Jay? So what we need to do is we've already created what I call a numeric vector. A vector is a single column of data for our 50 ages. That's what we've done. Now we're going to make the histogram using the HIST function. Not surprising that if you want to make a histogram with R, just use HIST. You can almost guess that. Then the main title needs to be your name plus the word histogram. And then the label that we put on the x-axis will just be age. And so Jay will bring up our studio again. And the command is HIST, open parenthesis, what's the name of your object? It should be age, another comma. And then there's two arguments that we're giving, Jay gives it a couple more, but the first argument, we call them, would be this word main, which would be the main title, the title that's above it, and then the XLAB would be the x-axis label, and then all of those words need to be in quotes. R is okay with either single or double quotes, although it doesn't distinguish the so in this case we have to use double quotes because he's using a single quote for this was yesterday. So you'd have some kind of error if you didn't do that. And so Jay also says he wants the color to be blue. You can change that to, I don't know what all available colors are, but you can just do the default color, which is just fine with me. If you run that once, Jay, that's his histogram, and it looks, it's not very pretty, right? It looks similar to what we made. It looks similar to what we made earlier, okay? So, what's that? What's that?
You have to like highlight it.
Yeah, and so in this case, you should be able to just highlight the word, or what I think you just need to have the cursor on the word histogram, HIST, and then run that.
As long as it's on that line, it'll run. If it's a multi-line, thing, like the other one above is multiple lines, you gotta select all the lines. If it's a single line, you just have to have the cursor on that line.
You always save just highlighting the whole thing and running it. That would always be the safest way to do it, because then for sure it should run. So just take a minute to make that histogram with this data, and then we're going to do one of the other ones, and I'll let you finish it. I'll let you finish it on your own.
There you go. Got that. So is that all we do?
Part one. Part one of two parts.
You got it?
Special stuff.
Or attach it to another one.
Okay, so which page?
Oh, it's not gonna hurt. Just attach to another.
And then,
No. Alright. Now run it after each.
now it's just run
Oh, she's good on Snapchat.
No.
You know, like the nose of always has a red. The mom has
Oh, Jesus. Nice watch.
All three of them combined.
You seem to know, right?
You did not make you mad.
It's bad because the skin color is
Yeah, it's my right.
We got the same format.
We got the same.
That's dangerous.
Hey, one drop.
You guys are good back there?
I swear I saw you that show and it had like, it was because the and I was like,
You guys are doing okay, got it?
Yeah, so we done.
I have a mention in a second.
What's that?
Just on part 2, when I'm inputting this, do I need to start like a whole new?
No, you can just add the objects.
Just add the objects. Okay.
Alright, let's just say it looks like mostly everybody's done. We're going to take a minute to do a couple more of these, or one more of these together. Then you'll be able to finish the rest of them either here or wherever you want to, just as long as I get it by tomorrow morning.
Just give us space.
So when we finish the chart, we're done.
What's that?
So when we finish the chart, we're done.
No, there's 3 more things that you have to do. And so I'm going to show you how to do one of the 3, and then you're going to do 2 more and just by yourself. Okay?
Go.
I'm just going to wait for this.
All levels get accepted. I'm great.
Ready, Jay?
All right.
So let's go back to the assignment sheet.
I might be like
So the assignment sheet, we've done part 1. Part 2 says we need to generate an object for each of these 3. I don't tell you what to name them. You can name them whatever you want to. So you're going to generate those 3 objects using this line of code exactly. And then you're going to make a histogram. And then you're going to identify as the histogram positively skewed, negatively skewed, or likely not skewed at all. And then I want to make sure that you have a note that identifies your response within the output, and I'll show you how we can do that. So let's just do this first one, or let's do the second one.
This is on the same.
You can do it in the same. You can do it in the same R Studio session, and you need to, so it's all together. So let's do the second one. So we're going to call it. Let's call it something. Let's call it X2. You can call it whatever you want to. And then the function that we're going to use, the R means we want it to use a random number generator. The F is the distribution we want it to come from, and we want it to come from the F distribution. And I tell you to generate 1,000 points of data. And then what are the two arguments? 2 and 120.
I think so.
And so if you run that,
Usually say once.
2 and 120. And so you run that, it's going to create an object called x2. And so Jay ran that piece of code. He now has this object called x2. Let's not do, and then he's doing a histogram of x2. So we created this object called x2, and then we're going to do a histogram of x2. And so if you run that,
Just open some of it.
that's what the histogram looks like. And so now you have to say, is that negatively skewed, positively skewed, or likely not skewed? Positively skewed, if that's what you think it is. Why is it positively skewed? Right, good. Well, the tail's at the high end, right? So the tail goes this way, right? We have that. We have maybe like 1 or 2 values way down here, but most of them are somewhere close to 0. Yeah, and so I'm going to show you how to do that. Probably the easiest way to do it is after you write this command for the histogram, just put in a comment, and the comment will just be a pound sign, and then you could say this is positively skewed. And then when you knit this document, that comment will show up in the knitted document.
What's the next thing you put in?
The other way you could do it is you can just change the title to this title, and you could change the title to positively skewed.
And do you run it when you talk about this? And then you just push enter.
What's that?
When you type in like your comment, you push enter. And you got this.
The comment you don't need to run.
Right,
It's
you don't
just
need to run
telling
the
you what you
comment.
did there, yeah.
Then H2 thing, basically the same thing.
So that's number 2, and you have number 1 and number 3. You need to write those histograms, or you need to generate those objects, and then create those histograms, and make sure you have them in the right order, and then identify whether it's skewed negatively, positively, or likely not at all. Okay? So work on that. We'll be here to answer your questions. If you don't have a computer with you don't have, there's no need to stay any longer. If you want to stay and continue to work on it, you can work on the other 2 problems. We'll be happy to help you.
Okay.